so you need to behave. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are KK Crochet. We're totally thrown off because we're doing live, but we just kind of would be easier today. We still have some recordings to do, but we kind of thought it might be a little bit easier today if we get on and do a little bit of a live and talk about what we've been doing this week and talk about how things are going and just kind of chat. And who knows? Um, but anyway, yeah, we thought we would come on and share a little yarny love and talk to you guys about what's going on in our world right now. Not much, not anything major, but we did want to talk about some things that are coming up that we're going to be doing and what might be coming up in the future. So, yeah, I had some things that I've been working on today. I've been working on the Wiggles some more. I finished the other set. Boy, that looks pretty.
Ooh.
I know it's pretty, but when that looks really pretty on there. That's this, I don't know what yarn. I think this is a red heart. And of course it's hot pink because you all know that's my favorite color ever. And it is, a sparkle yarn. So I really like that a lot. But it was scraps. I have a bin of yarn or a bag. It's not a bunch, but it's some. And doing these has helped me get rid of quite a bit of it. There is a delay, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it'll fix itself. Probably our internet, because this morning when I got up, well, I can't say we slept in late because my husband gets up and leaves for work at 4:30 in the morning. Oh, he gets up 4:30. So I was up then, and it took a little while before I went back to sleep. This one had to go to work, and she was up. And then I got back up around probably 9:30. We were up late last night. There was a power outage in our area, like a big power outage, like over 1,200 customers. And so, wait a minute, move this notification, it's driving me nuts. So, I don't even know where I was going with that.
That's why our internet is being messed
Oh, that's
up.
why our internet's being in the butt, because not only did the power go out, and it was resolved probably about an hour after I got up, but as soon as it came back on, it flickered back off again, then back on again, then back off again, then back on again. I did that 2 or 3 times over the next 10 or 15 minutes, and then it finally came on and stayed on. It's been really windy here and really, really super cold, so I assume that's probably part of the issue, and it's still really, really windy
I just
here.
heard it out there.
Yeah, that's how I knew it still was. It's still super, super windy. So, anyway, if it's there, if it looks to me like there's a delay in me talking and what's actually happening, so it could be that it's the internet. But if you're joining us and dropping in, let us know who you are, what you're working on, what you're doing. The question I posted today in the Facebook group is, what are you working on, or what's keeping you from doing what you want to work on? And for her, it was work today, most of the day.
Yep.
But then she
You'll
got
need more
home.
too?
Yep, and tomorrow too. But then she got home,
About 2:30.
yeah, and started helping me work on these happy wiggles, as Niecy calls them. I love happy wiggles. I can't call them worry. I can't even say it, but I definitely can't call them worry worms. Can't say that because it aggravates me. So I just, Niecy said happy wiggles. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I want to show you guys something. And this, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just to show the difference in tension. We hear about that a lot now. I know people say, well, what's the big deal? It's not that big a deal. Yes, it is. Because this is mine, and this is Red Heart, whatever this orange is, Flame, I guess, with an eye hook. Not the 5.5 eye, the other one. I think it's
5.25.
Yeah, I think it's 5.0, actually. I'm not sure. I put it up. And this is Kristen's. Same yarn, same hook size, same pattern, same everything. Her tension is so much looser than mine, and I know what it is. I know that my tension's that way because I'm old and I get have anxiety a lot of times, and I know that that's what mine
I
is.
feel like I crochet too tight though.
Nope, your
Like-
stuff is always bigger, even when we use the same hook.
That to me is super duper tight. That's
Nope.
what I'm working on.
Nope. You're also using an H hook too, so that's
I'm
why that
using
was
a G hook,
smaller.
actually.
Well, then that's why it's smaller. So anyway, yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're working on wiggles.
I'm working on swatches for a video of a new stitch I found.
Yep, she's working on swatches for a video. I'm working on trying to get these finished, and then I have um, a project I'm going to be showing tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Probably Monday or Tuesday, in a video that I've been working on. And then I have a couple other things I need to work on. I did complete a hat this week, and that was by Spring, the Fiber Enthusiast. It was her new pattern that'll be coming out this coming week, and it's called Bless the Rains, R-A-I-N-S, Bless the Rains. And if you're an 80s chick, or an 80s man, then you know what that reference is. If you know what it's in reference to, post down below. She has mentioned it a couple of times, but I'm not sure if you've seen it. So, Bless the Rains. Do you know what that's in reference to?
I do. I'm doing it in my head right now.
Don't do that. Get us in trouble. But anyway, if you're in the chat, let us know what you're doing, what you're working on. I think ours glitched just for a second. Hey, Jeannie, how are you? Lots of power outages near and far. Yep, you're right. Snowy and blowy. It's not snowy here. It's cold. It was supposed to be snowy. It's supposed to be snowy this coming week, but I don't think it's going to be.
I saw vehicles with snow on them today on the road.
Maybe from the mountains.
Maybe from the mountains. But
we don't live in the mountains. Well, we're just a few minutes from the mountains, but still, we don't normally get a lot. Crocheted 2 small donuts this morning. Just need to stuff them. Currently knitting slippers. Jeannie, see, I always get confused because YouTube names are different than Facebook names and email names and stuff like that. But you're the Jeannie that's on my Facebook page then, aren't you? On my personal Facebook page. You're Jeannie Jeannie with the donuts, right? They're so cute. I love them. But I've seen you before, and I thought, I'm not sure if that's the same one. Because I'll look on our videos and see somebody comment, and then they'll comment in a group, or they'll comment somewhere else. And sometimes my brain doesn't process and connect that they are the same person. I'm sorry. Yeah, flighty like that. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, there have been lots of power outages here too, but we had one bad snow this past week. Well, not bad for us, but was for everybody else. And the kids got a day out of school, and they were happy. And I'm ready for it to be over.
it felt longer even though we had a day off.
It did. One and the same. Good. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I'm ready for it to be over. Over winter. We really haven't had a winter. We've had, like I said, very limited snow, and I am so over it. Just done. Just want it to be over, because in the meantime we've been getting 60 and 70 degree weather throughout the weeks, and so we'll get a day with the really, really cold, and then we'll get a day where it's like so hot that you're sure summer has hit, or spring anyway, and I'm over it. Time has changed, and we have longer days, and it is warmer some of the time, and I'm over it. And
It has made the days pass quicker at work though. Because I look outside and it's still daylight, and I look at the clock and it's 7:30.
did you tie this off? I think I just ruined it. You
Yeah,
ever
I
go to
did.
weave something in and then you mess it up? You tied it off?
Yeah.
Oh, and I went to weave in the end, and somehow it was sticking out wrong, and now it's all messed up. Great Googa Mooga. But anyway, I'm ready for pretty weather and rides around the mountains and bonfires and music. That's what I've been doing today, is listening to 80s music and crocheting and listening to podcasts and just doing whatever. Yeah, I'm ready for pretty weather. I just can't handle it anymore. Sick of it. Beyond sick of it. So I think I fixed it. Pretty sure I fixed it. And then it gets little googly eyes, and then onward we go, right? So I got a whole bag of those. I still got to weave in ends because that's the last part. So this is not the first set. The first set I showed before is done and gone to a friend, and these are for a different friend. So yeah, I'm just not I'm not in the winter mood. I loved snow at one point in time when I was younger, but now that I'm older and my bones ache and creak and pop every time the temperature drops, nope. Gives a whole new meaning to drop it like it's hot, right? 'Cause we're not dropping it like it's hot. We are cold, and it is hurting bad. Yeah. So, but I hope to finish these today, and then I'm working on another project that I need to finish. And you live on an old dirt road, which looks like muddy pig pen. I gotcha. Our farm is like that. Absolutely 110%. It's probably washed away right now. I haven't been up there in a while. Um, yes, I'm ready for the mud too. And when it rains, it washes out. We live in my mom's house, but then we own a farm, and it's not a working farm, but it's our farm, and it is. I'm ready for the mud. I'm okay with the mud, and I'd rather have that much more than what we have right now. I can't handle this weather. This weather that makes Mother Nature look like she needs to be on medication. Yeah, I can't handle that. I'm over it. My body hurts. We've talked about moving somewhere else where it's more a level temperature, a consistent temperature. I don't think there is such a place, but if there was one, I'd be gone. But anyway, yep. And then we wanted to talk about some other things that are going on. One of the things that, well, I want to talk about the crochet along or the make along that Kristen's doing, which is the mood crochet along or mood make along. You can knit, you can crochet, do whatever you want. You can make a scarf, you can make a blanket, you can make anything you want to make. But there are going to be some things coming up with that soon. I have some things that, hold on, sorry. I have some things that I want to get handle this technology. Sorry, I have some things that I want to get your input on for some things that I'm going to be doing, and then also we have a live coming up March 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right?
Hey.
You should know, with Bailey Nuchter, Cat on the Prowl, on her channel, where we're going to discuss the mood blanket or the mood crochet or mood make along and what's going to happen. And we're also going, or what's going to happen, we're going to discuss what we're making, what she's making, because she's also doing the mood make along. Yeah. And we need to pick a name and stick to it.
Yeah,
It's
really.
getting on my own nerves. It's a mood make along because you can do whatever you want to with it. But anyway, Bailey's doing her own version, and so we're going to discuss what she's doing, and we're going to discuss what Kristen's doing, and what I'm doing, and just talk a little bit about what's going on with it, and have a good time. And that again is March 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Bailey Nuchter, Cat on the Prowl's channel. And if you don't know her channel or aren't subscribed, please go over and check her out. There is a link on our community page, I believe, for the live. If there's not, I will put one on there, but I think there's one on there. So, yeah, so we're looking forward to that. Looking forward to spending some time with Bailey and with you all and just talking about what we're doing and having some time together. I know Saturday evening is a bad time to do a live, and I realize that by the time most of you see this, we'll be gone and off of here, but that's okay. It'll still give you the information that we wanted to give you and let you know what we're doing. And you know something I just found out that I did not know, and I'll probably say this again in a video this week, but did you all know that you can turn your YouTube into dark mode? I knew that you could do that for Facebook or Messenger, but I did not know that you could do that for YouTube. And Yarning for a Smile, Kim at Yarning for a Smile, taught me how to do that today. And I was so excited because I have vision issues anyway, and I really, really, really have a hard time seeing that stuff at times, and I'm squinting. And so, you know, so if we're on live and I'm doing this, you know why I'm half blind. So anyway, she taught me how to do that, and so I was really excited about that. If you don't know how to do that, go to her community tab, Yarning for a Smile, Yarning for the number 4, a smile, and on her community tab, it has a question about do you like dark mode or light mode on your YouTube? And in the comments, when I commented and said I didn't know you could even do that, she explained how to do that. So, really neat thing to go do. Did you know you could do that?
Nope.
Are you going to talk at all today? Looking forward to that live. We are too, Jeannie. It's going to be fun. Kristen, when is your spring break, she said?
Ooh.
Not for a while. She
Not
said
until like
her granddaughter
April.
kicks off next Friday. We get to have her each day while her parents are at work. Hi, Jody. How are you? Good to see you. Let us know what you're working on, what you're doing.
I'm doing college courses through my high school, and their spring break was last week, so I had no college work for that. But our actual high school spring break, I think, is in the middle of April.
So you'll have college work during that.
Yeah.
I think it's the first week. It's the week of April 4th or something like that, because I think I can tell you when it is. It starts the Friday of Good Friday. That's when theirs starts, somewhere during that week. And then they have break after Easter, which I like better because, yeah. I always hate, like, if Christmas break and everything is falling, and, well, Christmas break doesn't do that because you go on into New Year's. But if, like, that break is falling and you have to have Easter on Sunday and go back to school on Monday, I always hated that. And see, I work in a different county. So her spring break and my spring break is completely different. Trying to look and see here. March, April. Okay, so I believe my spring break starts on the 3rd and ends on the 7th, not counting the weekends. Her spring break starts on the 10th and ends on, well, they won't have school on the 7th either. So it starts, they do. They get a 3 hour early out on the 7th, which is a Friday, Good Friday. Well, don't we just stay home? But who am I, right? Just a parent. And then they're out the whole next week through the 14th. And then somebody had asked about seeing, I didn't tell you yet, um, somebody had asked about seeing Kristen in her prom dress. So we will do that when she gets ready for prom and gets ready to go. We will post some pictures probably in the Facebook group. And I may happen to get on there and post some on YouTube. I don't know. I know that she's on there with me on YouTube, like here a lot. But I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about that. I try to be protective of what's going on, even though she's on here with me like this. I'm here and I know what's going on. I don't know. It just feels funny. On a break at work, you're crocheting loveys. I love the loveys for Easter. They are so pretty. I love that variegated that you're using, and it went. But that's what you're doing when you're home. Prom, so exciting. I never went to prom, and I can't say that I missed it. But then again, can't miss what you never did, right? But I never missed it. Yeah, we won't go there. That's a long story. Yeah. But who else is in here? We've got Jody and we've got Jeannie, and I know that I'm in here on another account because I'm responding from my phone. So that's 3. Maybe that's it. But you know what? That's okay. We'll take it. Jeannie, did you have a happy birthday? St. Patrick's Lady. That must be nice to have your birthday on St. Patrick's Day. Everybody celebrates with you. Yours seems early this year. Yeah, I think that's early too. Yeah, I'd say they'll get Good Friday. And then Monday. I would be okay with that. Oh, birthday on Easter. That sounds wonderful. I would be okay with having spring break in March and then getting off Good Friday and the weekend and Monday. That'd be okay too, because that's like getting 2, right, for the price of 1. I'm all about any time my kids get to stay home. We enjoyed their snow day this week. There was snow here, but it was like a dusting on the ground, so it didn't count for anything. When I was growing up, I think I said this in our last live, because to me, it just, what are you laughing at? To me, it makes sense that, the way the weather used to be, and I know we can't control it, but we had real snow, what I call real snow, and my kids kind of laugh. But, I mean, I'm talking knee-deep snow. And when you had a snow day, you had a snow week usually, or at least 2 or 3 days. You don't have a question. You weren't going to school. Now, they get, like, a little bit of nothing. I mean, we live in the same house I lived in growing up. And you literally could not walk up the road to where the mailboxes were for the neighbors. Yeah. And now, well, we don't even get enough to worry about having to shovel a driveway or nothing. I mean, or even sweeping a sidewalk. It's
You
ridiculous.
did when I was little.
I don't know.
Because I have pictures with Bandit. And he was a short dog. Well, not super short, but his
He
legs
was
were
tiny.
about, I don't know, a foot and a half. And he couldn't walk. It was just, it looked like a loaf of a dog just sitting on the snow. There was no legs. His legs were covered.
He was a Boston Terrier. He's the one we lost this September. I think makes
Last
2
September.
years.
No,
This
1
September. No, this September makes 2. This coming
What's
September. No, he's been gone a year. It didn't happen this last year. No,
It's been a year.
it's been a year.
Yeah,
This
I thought you
September
said
makes
2.
2. Who's the
Oh,
math guru?
well, I was that you talked about last
Who has a
September.
degree in mathematics? Has nothing to do with it, right? But
Yeah,
anyway, he was a Boston
common
Terrier.
sense.
He's my baby. We were just talking about him today. My oldest is talking about getting another dog. He doesn't live here, and he's out on his own, and so he called to see if I would, how much I loved him, and if I would watch his dog while he was on vacation this summer. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And it makes me miss our dog. We have our dog Roxy. You all hear her in the background all the time. She's a noisy little thing. She's a black lab. But yeah, I miss our Boston Terrier. I loved him so much, and he was my companion. He was more like a cat. He When he wanted to be around you, he wanted to be around you. When not, he didn't. Our oldest son, his wife, and our granddaughter took us out for dinner. That sounds nice, and they had cake and ice cream. Got lots of fun gifts, including a good amount of yarn. Oh wow! Did you get a Hobby Lobby gift card? If you're where we're from, it wouldn't do you any good right now.
Yeah.
I hear people talking about Hobby Lobby lists, and I don't use a lot of Hobby Lobby yarn. I'm kind of known as the Red Heart Queen. I mean, here anyway, because I don't use Hobby Lobby a lot. It's pretty, it's soft. I get that. It's also expensive, and even with the sale, it's still not the greatest. Um, I guess it's okay. It's probably about the same. But for us, Hobby Lobby is about an hour drive any way you go. More than that in some ways, some places. So um, I don't go that often. A lot of times I go, it's more for the notions and things like that. But I did go this past week while somebody was at work.
Mhm.
I knew I was going to get that. So she got a crochet hook and a knitting needle. The clover hooks, which I've never used before, were on sale, marked down. Well, there were a variety of prices, anywhere from $2.24 to like $3. The regular ones that are like $10 and something. So, or $10. So I got that, and then the knitting needles were $1.12. The Knitter's Pride, and there pretty much wasn't hardly anything else. So the only thing I really went for, Jody, is I love, 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 and I don't know if you all have tried it, but this is like one of my all-time favorite yarns, and I don't use it a lot because it is so expensive from Hobby Lobby, but I love Lion Brand ice cream yarn. I love to make blankets with it. The baby blankets, I've made the star version. I've made the, what do you call the one? The virus, like you do the virus shawl, but this was a virus blanket in the round, and it was a rectangle. I made that as a baby blanket, and I super super love those colors, the pale pinks with the white, and the mint green with the white, and I did the blue and a white one, and I did one that was in Tutti Frutti, and so I love all those colors. So I went hoping that might be marked down, and I also was looking for like sugar wheels or something that might have something that I could use for maybe these, or for I don't know, every time I bought from Hobby Lobby, I end up getting rid of it and not using it, which kind of makes me sad because it's a waste of money. So I've sat here all day yesterday and today. I actually went to the town where our one Hobby Lobby is over an hour away yesterday, or close to it, and I was going to go, and then I wasn't feeling well, so I ran to McDonald's to get something to eat because I knew it was my sugar I hadn't eaten. And I don't have diabetes, but I'm borderline low, so I have to be careful. And so I went, and I was going to go maybe to Hobby Lobby, maybe to Walmart. And as I sat there, the McDonald's took forever, and they said that it was because they were low staffed, which I get. And then I got on Facebook and had a message from a friend, or saw a message from a friend that said there was a power line down across the interstate right up next to our Walmart. And so by the time I finished waiting 30 minutes to get McDonald's, yes, 30 minutes, 25 probably. By the time I finished that, it was too late to go to Hobby Lobby because Hobby Lobby was another probably 20 minutes in the other direction, and I had to pick up a grocery order and do some other stuff. And I couldn't go to Walmart because I needed to go get my groceries that were right there at Kroger, and because there's an electrical line down across the road. So I didn't go. I figured that was, the way of saying I don't need it. Your youngest got you a t-shirt that has a picture of your chocolate lab who passed on February 20th. Oh, that's nice. And you screen printed on it. Oh. He also got you a Visa gift card for $25. That sounds like a good son to me. Son, daughter. You said youngest. That could be either. Sound like a good kiddo to me. Um, yeah. When our kids become adults, it's a wonderful thing. It's difficult as a mom. I think one of the most difficult things I've ever done. I only have one that's an adult. He's 20, almost 23. And it was a difficult transition for me. And just because we were super close and it was hard for me just to let go and let him live his life. But I did. Um, and it's a good thing. He's a good kiddo. He's a grown man. He's a good young man. And he's the one that called me today to ask me to babysit his dog. I said, sure, I'll babysit my grandkid. I didn't know he had a dog yet. He doesn't. He's getting one. Um, he's adopting one. But, yeah. And I say that when they call, when my kids call, that's the most wonderful time. Because then, especially when they call just to call. And that's a call just to call. He said, how much do you love me? I said, a whole bunch. Enough to watch my doggy? Yeah, sure. Why not? What's one more, right? She is a Cocker Spaniel Husky mix, and ours is a Black Lab. So we'll see how that works. Our lab got along really well. Well, most of the time, she got along well with our Boston Terrier. It was the Boston Terrier who really caused most of the problem, and it wasn't that he was causing the problem. It's just he didn't like to be messed with, and
She wanted to play.
she was a puppy, and she doesn't know how to not. She doesn't know how to stay in her own space even now, and she's
energy.
5 years old. She still doesn't know how to stay in her own space. She's a hot mess express. Hot mess express. But the best guard dog I've ever had.
Yes.
And I never thought a lab would be a guard dog. But she is a fabulous guard dog. She even guards against some of us at times if we come in late at night and don't announce ourselves. That's funny. But so, Jeannie, what are you going to do with your gift card? That's a stupid question, right? You're going to buy yarn, correct? Anybody else had the experience of going to Hobby Lobby and actually finding anything? I'd love to know. And if you did, do you mind to tell us where you're at? Like, not that we're going, but, just in general, which state or which part of the country you're in and what was on clearance. Because what I saw, I did buy some cotton yarn, but it was the little tiny ones. I can't even remember. What is that called? Fooey. What's the little tiny ones called, guys? What are they called? What are they called?
I never had any.
Yes, you have. Oh my goodness.
Not that brand.
We had a whole bunch of it. Look around there and see what the name of it is. It's under
side.
you. You got a dozen skeins of yarn last week at Hobby Lobby. See? 2 skeins of puzzle yarn. Oh my Lanta. That stuff is gorgeous. I love puzzle yarn. That's what we made those keyhole scarves out of. Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yes. And 2 orange red heart. 3 of red heart stripes. I love red heart stripes. And 4 of just yarn from Premier. Cool. Did you get just yarn from Dollar Tree? See, our Dollar Tree doesn't have... The only thing I've gotten from there lately was, what's that stuff called? Hey, Tank, how are you? It's okay. We're just hanging out. Nothing special. We're just yakking. Yeah, I got fun fur yarn at Dollar Tree, but ours does not have... Even our bougie Dollar Tree, as John Boy would say, does not have a yarn selection. Nope. And the one I went to this last time, it was all... I think it was that one. It was all torn apart. Looked like a dog had been in it. So, yeah, I'm not about to. But Tank, I was just telling him that we're going to meet up with Bailey on March 28th and talk about our mood crochet along. And, yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's at Bailey's house. We're going to Bailey's channel. And we'll talk about Kristen's mood project and what she's doing. And Bailey's mood project and my mood project. And by then we should all be in a good mood, right? We'll see. We better be. But anyway, yeah, our Hobby Lobby, I'm not fond of at all. And I didn't go to the other one, but I did talk to Spring, who, she and I live about the same distance, Spring the Fiber Enthusiast, from the one. And it does sound good. I can't wait for us all to hang out and have a good time. We live about the same distance from the one, Spring and I, so... the day that I went to the one in the other county, the day before, she had gone to the one on the other end. So, like, I live here. There's one this way, about an hour, and there's one is it this way, I think about an hour, whatever. It's hour in different directions. So Spring had some things. She got a few things, but still not what we would have expected to be able to get. So our Hobby Lobby, number one, they take forever to get started when they start to mark down. The gift card purchaser was by your youngest and a son. Okay. 3 sons and a daughter. Oh, I love it. I love it. The Just Yarn came from Dollar Tree. Not sure what I'm using my gift card for, actually. There we go. Thank you, Tank, for putting that. I appreciate that so much. That's the link down there for the live for when we're going to do the crochet along. Yeah, talk about the mood crochet along on Bailey's channel. Thank you, Tank, for putting that in there. It has a picture of 3 black dogs, or wolves. To me, they look like wolves, but whatever. And so, I think wolves are beautiful. So, yeah, our Hobby Lobby's I can't say that. That's not nice. Our Hobby Lobby is always behind. And then when you try to call, like one year I tried to call because one year I accidentally walked into a Hobby Lobby and bam, everything on the shelf was marked down, it seemed like. I loaded up. I mean, loaded up. And I didn't know, at the time, I didn't know what they were doing. I was just, clearance. I'm going through. We always go look for clearance. So, yeah. And since then I've called and they won't tell you, or they'll say they don't know or whatever. And so, and they're so slow about getting it done. I don't know if, I don't know. Like I said, they had some notions and things marked down, but there was not yarn. I can't. Peaches and cream. Took me a minute. It's okay, Jody. Oh, ice cream yarn is my favorite. I just can't. If I'm going to make a baby blanket, which the ones I've been making have not been ice cream yarn because I've used all mine. But if I'm going to make a baby blanket, I prefer to use ice cream yarn. It is so pretty.
They discontinued ice cream
Well, I
yarn.
thought they did too, but all of a sudden it's on Hobby Lobby's shelf. So what? I don't know.
We're not gonna question it.
I'm
We're
not
just
going
gonna buy it.
I'm gonna take it. Not at $6 and $7 a skein. I'm
No.
not. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale, or wait till I can go to Joann's and use a coupon. We've been going to Joann's. Yes, it is so soft. It's beautiful. It works up so nice, especially when you're doing those, like I said, the star blankets or the virus blanket in the round like that. Oh, it works up so pretty. And I used the Tutti Frutti and did a star blanket for a baby, and then I did um, a Lovey. I used Z's Zelda NRJ one. I can't remember exactly, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Um, I used her pattern and then I changed it into a star and I put it over a duck. And that's what I donated to one of the local auction things that were going on for Christmas to raise money for children. One person in your town wiped you out, Tank. That's what I think happens here. Even though crochet is not, and knitting is not something that is widely talked about in this area or in this community. Like I'm shocked that Spring and I live so close together. Um, I love Z's pattern. Zelda NRJ3. There you go. That's what it is. Squirrel. I love her pattern too. It's wonderful. But I'm shocked that Spring and I live so close together and we crochet. Like I have friends in this area who crochet or acquaintances, and several of them help with Bumblebee's Mountain outreach and they crochet hats for our Christmas outreach and stuff. But to say there's a lot, like I found a few more since I started Bumblebee's Mountain outreach, and we've been working on crocheting hats. But like I can probably say 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 maybe. That's not a lot. I mean, we're a small area. What are you doing with your hair?
It's all messy.
It's okay. You're among friends. Nobody cares. Um,
I do.
but yeah, we don't have a lot. And to say 5 people, like I found 5, maybe 10 at the outreach, which I doubt, because of Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach who helped with hats and stuff. That's not saying much. I
And
mean,
there are
it's
some that know how to do it, but they don't know how to do, like they don't do it all the time. Like they learned and then they quit doing it. There was some of those.
that's probably true. At one time when I was substitute teaching years ago, which I still do, all the teenage girls decided they were going to learn to crochet while I was working in high school. And it wasn't because of me. It's just something, it was a fad or something. And I was so excited that they learned. I still have some who are doing it now, but it does kind of come and go. They don't always stick with it. And, but to say that there's not and like Spring says, we don't even have like a local yarn store other than whatever you call that. whatever you call that, Hobby Lobby and Joann's. That's it. And
I was
then
gonna say,
Walmart.
what are you talking about?
I don't know. There's a sewing store.
I thought that's the one you were talking
No,
about.
there's a specialty sewing store, but I don't sew. I wish I did. You have one skein of ice cream yarn gifted to you last year, waiting for inspiration to use it. Oh, Jenny, you'll love it. Once you use it, you won't ever want to put it down. You'll want to buy more and more and more, and it comes in so many pretty colors. I love the pink because you know I like pink.
I love the mint green because you know I love the mint green.
I wish they do like a, see like this. This is Mainstay multi pink. I wish they would. Well, yep. I wish they would do like a this color pink in ice cream yarn, this dark hot pink with the white. Oh my Lanta, I would be so happy. You cut 6 inches off your hair tank. I need to cut it off mine too. I'm sick of it because look how long this is, and it's nasty at the bottom. But when I was growing up, I'm 5'3", and when I was growing up, by second grade, I think I could set on my hair. So yeah, a lot of people I went to school with didn't like that because I do this on their desk and they get so mad. I still have people who talk to me about that. I'm like, grow up and get over it. Seriously. It's funny though. They're just joking. But, yeah. Going back and trying to catch up. You have a brand new great niece, Jeannie, then you need to make a blanket with that. Oh my word. You'd be so happy. It's so pretty. And it's light. It's lightweight for a baby, especially if it was just born. I have a brand new great nephew who was just born week before last. Yeah. Baby boy. And hey Esmeralda, how are you?
Hi.
You're gonna be doing dishes while you listen. Well, how about after you do yours, you come do mine? Okay? Deal? Deal? I'll crochet for you. You do my dishes.
Crochet.
And Tank's gonna cook for us. I'd be so tickled. Jody, you have to drive 30 minutes for Walmart and Hobby Lobby. 2.5 for Joann's. I would die. And
Deal.
further for Michael's. All right. Yeah, that's fine. I'll crochet. You do dishes. I hate dishes. I do tons of laundry before I do dishes. Yeah, we have, it's 35, well, probably more like 40 to one Walmart. It's 55 minutes to another Walmart, 55 minutes to another Walmart. There's probably three that are about 55 minutes from us. One that's about 45. Two that are about an hour and 15 minutes. Joann's is an hour. Hobby Lobby is an hour or an hour and 15, depending on which one you go to. Ollie's is about 40 minutes, so that's closer, but you know, selection there's not great. You could set on mine 2 years ago, but it was looking ratty. Now it looks healthy. Mine's looking ratty too. I'm probably going to have Kristen cut mine. I've been asking her to, and we just keep forgetting. And see, I've decided, I forget the name of a new YouTuber I saw who talked about her wisdom sparkles. Well, you know, I used to make fun of my ex-sister-in-law because of her wisdom sparkles. As a matter of fact, I remember being probably 18, and she came to the house looking like this, and I said, what happened to your hair? It looks awful. Yes, I was a snot-nosed little teenager.
Oh,
No, I'm not sure I told her it looked awful, but I remember telling my mama it looked awful. But guess what? I love my wisdom sparkles, and I've kind of gotten used to liking them right there. I really don't care. And as far as Michael's, no.
we don't know who that is.
Michael's, you don't know who it is. You silly. There is a Michael's, I believe, almost I have to ask Spring. I think it's 2.5 hours away. See, there may be some in the other direction, but I don't go that direction. And I hear people say, oh, you should go to so-and-so down in, we live in West Virginia. They used to go down to Virginia, and there's these places you well, I don't go that way. I've been a few times, but never found anything I really cared about. I know there's like a chain of stores down there and things that we might like. I know there's a Michael's down there at one point we went to, but there's one the other direction that I think is about 2.5 miles away. The only thing I ever got at Michael's that I really, and I've only been like probably once or twice. The only thing I got that I really, really ever loved there was my pom-pom makers. And you all saw that when I did the pom-poms for the wreath. And I still love those, and I've used them a bunch.
We went to Michael's
We went to Roanoke.
on vacation one year.
Yeah, when we were in Roanoke, yep. That's the one we went to the fair down there. We went to because didn't you have to have like a pair of white canvas shoes for Little Miss Mermaid or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. We're just reminiscing about everything. Little Miss Mermaid is like it's not a pageant. It's like a thing she participated in when she, a fundraiser for our local town when she was growing up. She participated in, and you would like
6 times too.
Yeah.
It was several times.
You remember that when you have kids.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
She raised money and it went to a local fire department, and that's why we did it, because we're part of the fire department. So, very rural Iowa. We have a gas station, a grocery store, and we are the county seat. Listen, we're not even in the county seat. um, our local town is 12 miles away. In our particular place that we live in, there's a post office, no gas station.
Yes, there is.
Not where we live. That's not our town.
I just kind of group it together because it's so small.
It is small, but it's not. We are unincorporated. There used to be a grocery store here. My uncle worked for years in a grocery store here. It was like more like a convenience store, but you had groceries. My grandma would shop there when she got her groceries because he worked there. And we would go in. When I was growing up, oh my gosh, I was spoiled and didn't even know it. He would we would go in the store and he'd buy something to eat and a bottle of pop every time, or a candy bar and a bottle of pop. And I thought that was just because he loved us, which he was. But I didn't realize that he did that for every kid that came in there. Like, every kid in the neighborhood. And there were a lot. And they came in a lot. And he did that for every kid there. I loved him so much. I miss him so much. But anyway, yeah, for us to we have a Kroger, and a Save-A-Lot 12 miles from our house. A Pizza Hut, a McDonald's, a Dairy Queen. A couple other little things. A Subway. A couple other little things that wouldn't mean anything because they're mom and pops. And that's it. So Walmart, anything like that, you can forget it. I used to laugh because we'd have friends who'd show up here and they go, "So where's Walmart at?" And I would bust out laughing.
I have customers ask me where the nearest Walmart is, and I say, an hour in every direction. And they go, huh?
What?
What do you mean an hour?
What?
I go, this way's an hour, this way's an hour, this way's an hour.
Hey, Stephanie, how are you? It's good to see you.
Hi.
What are you working on? Welcome in. No Michaels near you, period. Apparently Michaels is very widespread. Hobby Lobby, Joann's, 30 minutes. 2 Walmart stores, 1 in each direction, 30 miles away. Dollar Tree, same. Our Dollar Tree's the same way. It's wherever the Walmarts are. One has tons of yarn, the other has zero yarn. Yeah, so we have a really good Walmart. Walmart too, but we have a really good Dollar Tree. We call it the bougie the water tree. I'm putting them together. We call it the bougie Dollar Tree, and it is an hour and probably hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes away. But it's really nice, but they don't have yarn. They don't have yarn. And they didn't have, I was looking for wiggle eyes for this too, and they did not have black ones. They had the ones that were all the multicolors, which might have been cute, but I didn't know what I was going to do or what I was going to make, and I just wanted the plain black ones. So I had to go to another Dollar Tree to get that. Dollar Trees are a dime a dozen. Dollar Generals too, but you know, we do have a Dollar General 5 minutes from our house or less. Working on a Chevron Virus blanket. Ooh, what colors? Is that the one that... Chevron Virus. You're going to have to share a picture of that. I don't know that I've ever seen that together. A Chevron Virus. I love a virus blanket. They're beautiful. But, yeah, we're blessed enough to wear less than 5 minutes from a Dollar General, but that's it. But you know, Dollar General used to have like clothing and all that kind of stuff, and they don't even have that now. So ours is more like a
Home.
Yeah, whatever they call that
Home
one. That's
goods.
a home goods store.
Like home decor.
65 miles away. Whew. It doesn't hurt your feelings, Tank. You don't like Joann's and Michael's. I don't care for Michael's. I do like Joann's. I have to be careful because they do that whole cinnamon thing. Big Scoops mint. Ooh, pretty. Ooh, mint, Kristen. You'd like that. It's her favorite color.
Yes.
I have to be careful with Joann's because I have a really, really super bad allergy reaction to cinnamon. And if you ever go into Joann's at Christmas time,
You understand.
you understand. Like, I literally had, your good Dollar Tree has fabric. Ours I saw had fat quarters the other day in big bunches. So
That's where I got those strips
nice
to make the scrunchies.
Yeah. But our Joann's, I start to say Goodwill because I've got it on the brain. Our Joann's has a thing for cinnamon, and I know that they all do at Christmas time, but I think ours is like overly dramatic with it because I literally couldn't breathe a couple years ago and I walked.
Too.
Yes, Tank. Not anaphylactic. Like I'm not gonna die, but it is. At least I don't think that's me. Here's what happened. I loved cinnamon. Growing up, I ate cinnamon like it was, well, like it was candy because it was. I went to the dollar store at the time. Y'all know the 99-cent store. If you're old enough, then you're with me. They had the little orange atomic fireballs. When I went to college, I would buy them by the pound. And I took them to college with me and we would all share them. And I ate them nonstop. One year I decided I was going to make hard rock candy and make the cinnamon because that's what my family liked. And I didn't let it cool. If you never made it, you need to let it cool before you put the flavoring in. And I did not. And I was in a hurry because I was making peanut butter balls and fudge and big cookies and all that jazz. So I threw the cinnamon flavoring in it and it wafted back up in my face and my face blew up like a blowfish. And I've not been able to eat it since. And I can't smell it. I can't stand it. I love fireballs too. I would, and red hots. Oh my gosh, what I wouldn't give to be able to eat red hots. Oh, I love them, but I can't. My mom was allergic to cinnamon. Kristen's now allergic to cinnamon too. I was probably 30 some years old before, and I'm 48 now, before I knew that, before the cinnamon allergy showed up. And so what happens is that day when I went in, they had them stupid, ignorant pine cones blaring that devil smell. I mean, that's what, anyway, the cinnamon smell. And I walked in, I walked from the front of the door to the yarn section, which I don't know if they're all set up the same, but ours is like 3/4 of the way back to the store. I think I might have gone to the bathroom, turned around and walked out because I could not catch my breath. And I went home and my skin literally itched like all day. I took a shower, it didn't help. The next day, still. Had a headache like nobody's business. So I cannot go in, and our Kroger's is so bad for that too. And they put them at the front of the store outside as you walk in. And so I was talking to a girl one time, and she said, oh, the reason we put them out there. Hi, Janice, how are you? You washed some cilantro from Aldi. It must have been sprayed. You almost died. Oh my gosh. She said the reason they put the cinnamon out front is because they have a worker who's allergic to it. And if they put it in the store, they'll have a reaction. Well, what kind of reaction do you think they're going to have coming in? And I'm not the only one. When I started talking about it, so many people in our area have it. See, I'm starting to itch just talking about it. That's how bad it is. I just can't.
Our local Dairy Queen, which is where I work, we have a new cone coating, and it's churro. And once you take it out of the cone dip, you have to dust it in cinnamon sugar. I sold like 4 of those today.
I'd be telling them I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I could not.
Well, one of my coworkers was allergic to peanut butter, and she couldn't touch the peanut butter.
How do you be allergic to peanut butter and work at Dairy Queen? That's all they sell is peanut butter. There's a lot of peanut butter going on at Dairy Queen.
It's the one that trained me. I love her to death, but she's allergic to peanut butter.
Oh, bless her heart. That's awful. Yes, people smoking outside I can't handle. I can't handle smoke. I used to smoke and I can't handle it. I smoked briefly when I was young and stupid. No shade on anybody that smokes. That's you. You do you. But for me, it was bad because I have asthma issues. So, real stupid. It is scary, Jeannie. I love cinnamon. And I used to shop and get the cinnamon oil and put it in my diffusers and use it in the house. And I loved it. Loved it so much. But it literally makes me itch right now just to talk about it. Joanne's and the pine cones. They stink. They're awful. As a kid, you could eat cinnamon and then one day you couldn't. See? It makes me so sick and I hate it. Good for you, Tank. Boy, I'm going to tell all my dirty laundry, and that's okay. I don't care. I don't have any secrets because you know what? God already knows, so I don't care what anybody else thinks. I smoked beginning when I was 16. Now, to preface that with, not that it makes any difference, but it kind of does to me. I guess in a way I'm trying to, I don't know. I'm not justifying nothing because whatever. I was 16. I graduated at 17. Like, barely 17, because when I went to school, you could go when you were 4, and I did. So I graduated when I was 17. At 16, I was smoking socially because of some idiot. And so, anyway, that wasn't nice. I'll be nice. I was smoking because of peers. And so, made my own decisions, but trying to fit in. And then I stopped. And then when I was 20-something, I picked it back up again. And then when I had my first child, I swore that I was going to stop. And I stopped. And then a few years later, I picked it back up briefly and then stopped and haven't since, which has probably been 21 years ago. I know, Jeannie, that's what I said. How can somebody be allergic to it in the store, but their way of solving that as being your employer is to stick it out in the foyer where you have to walk in because there's no back door. You started at age 5, Tank. Oh my gosh. Brothers are good for that, right? My brother was good for, he was 11 years older than me, so he didn't get me in trouble like that. I remember, though, I may have told this story. He was a big Star Wars fan. And for those who, sorry, I'm shaking. For those who know, my brother's deceased, and there's a whole big thing about that on Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach, and you can find out why and all that stuff. It has a lot to do with mental health, everything to do with mental health. So anyway, he was 11 years older than me, big Star Wars fan, you know, all that kind of stuff, and big Army fan, all that kind of stuff, MASH. So I have a picture somewhere, and I guess I was about probably 7. No, maybe 6. That would have made him 17. That sounds about right. And he put me in the hallway. We have a big long hallway out here in the middle of the floor and middle outside the bedrooms, and shut all the doors. And he put a helmet on me, an army helmet, like a real army helmet that we had for some reason. I don't know why. And told me that he was going to shoot those plastic darts at me. Bye, Jody. Glad we caught up with you too. Have a great rest of your weekend. We hope to see you soon. Keep letting us know how your lovies are coming. Keep posting those pictures. They're beautiful. So he put an army helmet on me and told me he was going to shoot with the, it may have been with the little, back then you could get the guns that had the plastic. Hey, Niecy, how are you, honey? Is your party over already? Or are you just now going? Her little boy's having a birthday party today. Aww. So he put me there, and I think it was the guns that had the little plastic disc that you shoot out. Watch me get in trouble for saying this kind of stuff on here. But anyway,
I remember those.
And he put me in there with a helmet and put me down the floor and told me he was going to shoot him at my head. Now, what kind of kid? 6 years old. I was a dumb little sister. And instead, he took a picture and then used it to bribe me. And, this is the same one who used to tell me that the dimmer switch in a truck, if I didn't shut up, that he would use it to, it starts at 5, which isn't too more. Okay, you're behind us. That's right. You're behind a couple hours because it's 5 here. So, time difference. I forget. She's in Montana. So he used to tell me that the dimmer switch was equivalent to an ignition switch, if you get my clue for something, and so that I would be found in pieces if I didn't be quiet. Yeah. Again, I was about 6 and he was about 17. He'd just learned to drive, and I remember we were waiting outside the Magic Mart or whatever it's called at the time for Mom to come out, and I guess I was too talkative. Imagine that. And he told me he was gonna push it. BBs and pellet guns on horseback in the woods. Oh, my mercy, Atlanta. I'm telling you. We did all kinds of things. And I was exposed to a lot of stuff, like I said, at an early age. He was 11 years older. So I remember one time, I swear we're going to get in trouble when I talk about this stuff. But it's not what it's meant to be. But anyway, my grandma lived on the farm that we own now. And she didn't drive. So my cousins and everybody had come in from Cleveland. And Rex and the family decided, the other boys, there were 2 other boys, they were all teenagers, upper teens, probably 15, 16, something like that. They were going to play with bottle rockets because, they all like to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. And whenever they came home, it seemed like they tried to get in more trouble than ever. I don't think they were trying to get in trouble, but they just did stupid stuff that always got them in trouble. 3 of them together, that makes sense, right? I missed some stuff. Hold on. And so they decided they'd play with bottle rockets on a farm with lots of buildings.
Wasn't it the dry season?
And a dry season. And a huge garden. We'd had little rain, hardly any. And so my grandma had my aunt and my mom, I think, or somebody take her to go to the grocery store to get some groceries. Because with them there and us, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 12 of us. And yeah, it didn't blow up in their hand tank, but they probably wished it had by the time my grandma got done with them. It set her tomato patch on fire. And she got home and they were running with 5-gallon buckets of water. She had no running water. There was no such thing. You had to go to the spring to get water because she didn't have running water put in until like 1998. So they set her tomato patch on fire. And to get from the tomato patch to the spring, you had to run uphill. And it was quite a ways. I mean, it wasn't, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile or something like that, in order to get the 5-gallon bucket. get back down to try to put the tomato patch out. So my grandma was not happy, and I don't think she ever let them live it down. They told some stories. I'm telling you, at one time, anybody that owns an older house and you have, well, actually,
I knew this is where it was going.
we still have some in our house. The big square
Clear
light covers that you put across that have designs in them. Like I have a circular one up here now, but there used to be square ones and they'd have the rigid edges. So our whole house had those. Yeah, Niecy, they were a hot mess express. I'm just telling you.
I knew where this story
I'm
was
surprised.
going.
I'm surprised that turned out to be such a good girl. I'm kidding. They were good kids. They were just ornery. But anyway, my brother was probably 35, 40 before he told my mom.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
No, that one night we were all gone and they were here having a sleepover, and they were having a pillow fight. You know, not a pillow fight. They were probably beating the tar out of each other with pillows. And somebody knocked the chandelier, the light cover off, broke it with a pillow. So they went down to the basement and found one and replaced it. And he was 35 or 40 years old before he ever told my mother. Yeah. He was here one day on vacation. He said, "Oh yeah." She said, "Well, I thought that looked funny when I come home, but I just couldn't figure out why it looked different." Because down in the basement they had a bunch that looked very similar. Your brother was striking matches and throwing them in the field. Then he would step on it to see if it'd go poof. He caught a 20-acre truck patch on fire. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just can't even. I'm sure. Oh my goodness. I just can't. I can't. And then it's funny. It's funny now, but back then we have so many good memories on that farm. So many good memories. And yeah, it's funny. I miss the people who were there, but we still love it and remember all those memories. But setting the tomato patch on fire was a good one. Pity the fool that messes with Granny's Mater Patch. Yeah, because Granny's Mater Patch also was it was in her huge garden. She had three gardens. And this one was the big one. And it had, I bet you did, Tank. It had tomatoes, beans, corn, onions, lettuce, potatoes. I can't remember what else. And then she had another one that had like peas and stuff like that. And then she had another that was out by another little trickle of a creek. And then she had another one up the mountain past the spring that had other stuff in it. Like that's all my grandma. That's what my grandma did, was raise garden and canned. And oh my goodness. And they my uncle would shoot, my other uncle, not the one I was talking about that worked in the store. Her brother would go up there and like shoot groundhog, and she would fix it and they would eat it. Ew, gross.
My favorite was every time I went up there, I gravitated to my great grandpa's chair, and it's my favorite one.
I don't think it's there anymore.
It was last time.
I think your brother threw it out when he was renovating.
I know.
I think I told him to throw it out.
It was too far gone to keep.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I gravitated towards that chair.
My grandfather passed in 1980. I'm pretty sure that chair's had it.
Oh, yeah.
Although,
but I gravitated towards it every time.
Yeah.
I'd always end up sitting there.
That great-grandfather, her great-grandfather, great-grandfather, right? Yeah.
Yeah, your grandfather,
yeah,
my
great-grandfather. He's actually the one that named my brother Bumblebee, and he named me Honey Babe. I don't know why. I often wonder if maybe it's because Rex was probably like flitting around, all over the place and not being still. That's possible. Mm. And Honey Babe, I don't know where that came from. I was too little. He died when I was 5, so I really, 5. So I really don't have, I have memories of him, but I don't know, I don't know, like the meaning behind it, and nobody ever really most of my family's gone now, so we don't have a way to figure that kind of stuff out, but yeah, we have very good memories there. But yeah, I didn't burn I don't think I ever did anything at Grandma's house. Well, yeah, I did. I pinched my cousin one time, but that was because she called me a name, and that wasn't nice either. We were about 8.
The way you said it was funny.
She called me fat, and I was, but still, it made me mad. Oh goodness gracious! Oh, I miss times like that. Life is not the same anymore. It's just not. It's not the same. You don't have that kind of camaraderie in family gatherings usually anymore. Life is too busy and the world's given us too much to distract us. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, snakes and all that kind of stuff. Oh my goodness, the snakes that were up there are ridiculous. But my grandma used to tell me, I had an Aunt Lainey, and I never got to meet her. But my grandma, when I started crochet, I started learning to crochet. And then I started, for some reason, I made doilies, and I don't know. I couldn't do that now if I tried. My hands wouldn't do it. But my grandma used to say it reminded her of my Aunt Lainey, that she crocheted doilies and things like that. I wish I had some of her stuff, but I don't. That would have been a great aunt. So there's no way. But yeah, it always struck me as odd that it came through the generations like that. And, oh my goodness. But I still hear the wind outside. I debated about trying to go to Hobby Lobby again this evening, to the other one that I was at near yesterday. But like I said, that's the one that Spring's already been to, and she said there was nothing. I kept thinking, well, maybe. My reasoning was, maybe I missed out on something. Maybe they haven't done it until now. They're not putting it out, they're marking it down.
Maybe they're marking it down now.
The last one I went to.
Maybe they're doing it as we speak.
Yeah, listen to you. The one that, you got yarn money?
Yeah.
What are you back there mouthing for?
I want to go Hobby Lobby.
Oh, you should have said something earlier. But anyway, the one I went to, I swear that lady that works there was just looking at me like, what are you looking for? It's already gone. It's kind of like, and I even went through the other areas, because I don't know if you all know this, but there were discounts in other areas too, not just yarn. They were marking down a lot of stuff. So I went through the other areas looking for stuff for the kids, because they like to do art stuff and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Kristen does a lot of things that I don't do. Like, she has started working on cross stitch, and I don't do that anymore. And they do like the beading stuff where you melt the beads together, and they had stickers. And, yeah. So I didn't do that. But I'll say this one thing, and then we're going to have to wrap it up and let you all go. But I shared this on the group, and I don't think I shared it on YouTube, because it's just not that kind of thing. But I have finished with 2 Bod sunflower blocks. Those are so pretty.
Sunflowers are my favorite flowers.
You should see. You have to go watch her live from today then and see what she's making and the patterns and what she's doing it for. There's a lady who is doing them in memory of someone who passed, and they're gorgeous, and I thought of you, and I thought Kristen would love that. Yeah. But I also run a couponing group on Facebook, so I'm going to share this with you all from our couponing group. I shared it today in case you don't know, and in case you didn't see it in our Facebook group. If you have a Dairy Queen that is local to you, now every Dairy Queen is owned by a different person, so like ours, 2 or 3 in our area are owned by a different person. Used to be that ours did not go along with any of the sales that Dairy Queen had. Yep, Tank loves sunflowers too. But this new owner does go along with all the sales usually that they have. And so this Monday, March, is free cone day. And
you get 1 free vanilla ice cream cone.
Listen to her give the spiel, because she got the spiel today
at work. Yeah, I got the spiel
today,
although I won't be there. But
yeah, so 1 small vanilla ice cream cone, but it's 1 per person. Yeah. So you could do, you know, if you have a family of 5, you can go in, and I think we kind of spaced ours out last year, because I felt weird going in and saying 5 and get them for free. But I know that I got, of course, I didn't eat it, because I'm not a huge vanilla ice cream fan. It's got to have something to zhuzh it up. And but Dairy Queen is one of the ice creams that I can eat with the gluten allergy. So, but you can get 1 free small ice cream cone per person all day long on the 20th, Monday. Or if you have a Dairy Queen, to check yours out and go in and see if they're participating. Not all of them do, I don't think, but ours does. And it's just a nice thing, you know, and they have some really good ice cream.
It's just to kick off spring.
Yep, because that's the first day that they begin. Well, in our area, it's the first day they begin to stay open later. So, whereas she normally works till 8 and then cleans and comes home, and it's school nights, now she will be working until 9 and then clean and come home. So there'll be times, there's been times she doesn't get home till after 11 o'clock and then goes to school the next day. So
yeah, and if I have homework, gotta find time for that.
But it's okay, because you only got like 2 months left of school. We'll get out to the end of.
I don't have much homework anyway.
We'll get out the end of May, because there's been no snow days this year, so
yay.
It'll be quick and easy and painless. It won't last very long, and let's face it, towards the end of the school year, they won't be doing as much as, you know, as they did previously, because there'll be lots of different assemblies and different things that'll happen. So that's guys, field trips and award trips and all that kind of thing. So it won't be nearly as bad. And I don't know why you worry so much anyway. You're a straight A student. Stop it. 1 Dairy Queen 25 miles away. We have a couple. Most of them are very far away. This one is 12 miles from our house.
Takes me 15 minutes to get to work.
It is, it's been here as long as I can remember. I'm 48 and it's been here all that time. And it was here, I think, long before that. And it was privately owned for a long time, and it did not follow any of the sales that had the best hot dogs and best hot dog chili, and that makes me want a hot dog really bad. I like that movie.
I was thinking about it.
She graduates
Next
next
year.
year.
I'm a
Yeah,
junior.
yeah. We just think I'm talking about being over for like the year. Yeah, she graduates next year, and then I have one who's in sixth grade, so I have 6 more years. Y'all pray for me. I don't know how much more the school system of my kids having to go to school and getting up and doing all this stuff I can do. I work for the school system. It's not that. It's just at this age, you miss the 40s. Oh, I wish I could stay locked in, but it's not going to happen. They've been the best decade. My health hasn't been the best, but the rest of it's been good. But I love the school system. I love, but I really enjoy when my kids are home, and I'm getting old to be having to keep doing that. Hey, Tank, can you take care of that, please? And thank you. Thank you. She did it before I even said it. Love you, darling. Love you, Tank, so much. I was like, what in the world, weirdos? Anyway, get a life. It's crochet. Get a life. But yeah, I have 6 more years though. When I think at 48 that I have 6 more years of school with these kids, I'm like, I've been in school my whole life. I taught. Thank you, Zapping Tank. I taught Head Start for 9 years. I think it was 9. It was from 2003 to
That's what Dad always says.
2012. But then again, I took a year off and was doing some other things, trying to find myself. Yeah, whatever. Um, when you think that's not the career and then it is. So then when I finally left Head Start the final time, the second time, I went to the public school system. And so I now substitute in the public school system and have done that since 2012. First, and you've hit the big time. I try. It's funny, Tank. Yeah, whatever. He can troll his way on out of here. We're not the big time. We don't even have 400 subscribers. That's crazy. People are ridiculous. But yeah, I started first as a substitute aide. Then the next year when they found out I had a math degree, they're like, "Why aren't you teaching?" I'm like, "Well, I don't have a degree. I have a degree in math, but not education." So I found out there was a way in our state to go back and get not a degree, but you get a license to teach. So I took the training for that, and I have to retake the training every 3 years. But it's super easy. It's a week-long online stuff to do that. And I also took the testing to be a secretary, substitute secretary. So now I do secretary and teacher, and I dropped the aide because of physical demands. I can't lift and tug and do the things I need to do. Chase. So that's what I do, and I've done it since 2012. I started as an aide, but been doing it ever since then. So 11 years. Yeah, and I enjoy it very much. I love teaching. I really love teaching. I love my little kids. They're my tater tots. I love them to death. And I love math, but I have no desire to be a full-time teacher. I mean, if I'd have done it when I was younger, yeah, it would have been. And I kind of always knew that was what I was supposed to do, but I was following somebody else and doing what they were doing. A friend of mine said, oh, she was going to go do, we'd always been friends, and she was going to go to math. So I started in business. I always had this great big thing about I was going to run a business and all that kind of thing. So, okay, that's what I did. And then I switched to computer science. And I quickly found out that was not the place for me. Bye, Jeannie. Good to see you. Post those pictures of your donuts when you get finished in the group, please. Facebook group. But, so then I went to computer science and quickly found out that at that time was a man's world and it did not have a place in it. And I was overwhelmed.
That's why I was snickering at.
I love my little kids. I really do. And at one point, I loved teaching high school, and I still like high school. I think you go through phases. I loved middle school at one time, but and I also have worked SAT. For those who know what SAT is, it's Student Assistant Team, and it's for children who are struggling. I also did ISS for a period of time, where I was an ISS instructor in school suspension for elementary, and I loved that. Loved it very much. I still get called the ISS teacher when I walk through the hallways a lot of times. That'll be the first thing they remember before they remember my last name. And I love it. I really do love it. My health has not allowed me to work as much these past couple of years, and I've missed it. But when I do get to work, I enjoy it. But yeah, from 4 years old to 48, it's a lot, and it's just getting tougher. It seems like some of the times they're talking about wanting kids. It does take a lot of patience, Janice. A lot of patience, and I think that's another thing as you get older that we kind of lose a little bit of sometimes. At least I have, but I've learned how to have patience, and I think that's because he was in G&T, but he was a brat. You know, I guess they all go through it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I want to be there so much is for those who are struggling. The first year I taught as a substitute, I had a meltdown. There was something going on. It was a really bad day. And I had a friend who was teaching, and I had graduated with her daughter, and I went to her, and she looked at me, and she said, KK, she said, did you ever stop to think that God has you here for a purpose, and it's not the purpose that you think it is? Because in my mind at the time, it was so I could be a teacher and be maybe even full-time. I thought about it. Yep, drop some likes, please. Hit the thumbs up. Please, if you're not subscribed, go subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 500. I know that's not important to some people, but it's important to us. We like YouTube. We'd like to stick around and keep growing, and we're enjoying it. We have 15,000 views, so we're excited about that. I kept waiting for that to hit. I know it's a journey, and we're enjoying the journey, but you can help us out if you're not there. But anyway, she made me think about it, and she's right. I was not there to become a full-time teacher. I was there to sub and to reach out to those children who needed someone to care. And I firmly believe that I wouldn't still be doing what I'm doing. Roxy, quit. You're the mutt over here. I wouldn't still be doing what I was doing if I didn't believe that. I firmly believe that I was placed there to make a difference in children's lives who needed it. And still have several kids who, after they've graduated, have gone on to stay in contact and reach out when they need help. And there's a thing here now called community in schools, and I think that's a wonderful thing. If you don't have that in your area, maybe look into finding out about it if you're part of the school system or if your child's part of the school system. They do a lot of good for families in need. They do a lot of good for children who just need a little bit of help and support, for parents who need a little bit of help and support. We've all been there. I was there when my my oldest was in school. We needed help to try and figure out, his learning situation, and it was a major step. And now he's like, he tells me, he said, Mom, I didn't try. He said, I could have done better. I said, I know that. But he's super smart, and he could have done it if he wanted to, but he was struggling. He didn't want to be in school till he got to ag, and then he fell in love with school. Well, at least with ag. ADHD is difficult. And I've not been diagnosed, but I swear that I struggle with some form of deficit disorder, and my children swear that too, not me. They say me too, but they say they do too. Your algebra teacher threw a hard eraser at him? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not good. He needs to leave. Be removed. Hopefully, he was. I finished them all. I gotta put eyes on them, but look at all these lovelies. To make sure I don't lose my needle. I've lost my darning needles, and I don't know what I did with them. I've got one. I've got to find them. I like the ones with the great big eyes in them. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all the babies.
It's raining worms.
It's raining worms. Yay! It's raining happy wiggles, Niecy. Yeah, I was in 5th grade, and I had you know how you get student teachers that come in and they teach underneath your teacher so they can learn while they're in college? And the student teacher threw a hard eraser at, thank you, Tank, at friends of mine who were talking. He later went on to become my landlord, and I've never forgotten it, and I've never let him live it down, because I have never forgotten. We grew up in the time when that was accepted. I mean, to a point, I think. I mean, goodness, we had paddles in the front office. I was terrified to go to the front office. Mr. Allen was my principal, and I was scared to death of him, even though he was nice as could be and was friends with my parents. I was terrified of that paddle. I was not going. I stayed out of the office for the most part. All right, guys, I'm going to try to wrap it up. It's 5:30 here, and we've got lots to do today, and I got one wanting to go to Hobby Lobby. What am I supposed to do with that? She just got paid. That's why she's got a hole burning in her pocket,
I haven't cashed it yet.
But you still have it.
Yeah.
She came in and told me how much it was last night. I said, is that supposed to be good? She said, I think it's good. I said, well, I don't make your money, and I don't make your paychecks, so I don't know if that's good or not.
That's the most it's been since I worked summer, so.
You never got pops? Principal's office one time, and it was me and 2 other girls, and we were carrying on, calling each other names and being mean. We were 7th grade.
You were
and
a mean girl.
Yep, I was not a mean girl. I was a good girl. Yes, Bailey's live in the morning. Don't forget, she'll be up and at 'em. Sometimes I catch her, sometimes I don't. Depends on how late I stay up. I don't sleep well.
I'll be at work.
And so if I, yeah, Chris will be at work. And so if I don't sleep well the night before, I sometimes miss Bailey's live. But I try to get in there at least the last 30 minutes. So, you know, weird sleeping habits. We love you all. Hope you have a great week. Don't forget to be kind. You don't know anybody else's journey. And don't forget that Monday is free cone day. And boy, is there a lag. Internet's crazy here. So don't forget free cone Monday. That's the most important thing, right? Free ice cream. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. We love you all. Have a great day. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, please. And go subscribe if you're not subscribed. We'd love to have you be a part of our Yarny family. Go over to Facebook, K&K Crochet. Make sure that there's a link on all of our videos usually. Please make sure you follow that link because there are lots of K&K Crochets on Facebook and only one on YouTube, the one and only. So, yep. Actually, yeah. YouTube's better at that. Look at those sunflowers dropping. Love you all. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.